All right.
Hey everyone, appreciate you all being here at USA Crypto Group for this AMS session. Today we have a project called Two Lands. Two Lands' mission is to help funding ancient archaeological expedition and research around the world, while aiding further the pursuit of knowledge for everyone. With that being said, I'd like to welcome Jared and Lady Jada from the team. Great to have you guys here. We had almost an hour conversation with you guys before, and I'm very excited to dive deep into the project. So with that being said, if you guys can give a quick introduction and give us a bit of insight on your background and experience, please.
Sure. Well, thanks for having us. It's been a while, and as I mentioned earlier, it's just really excited to be here. My name's Jared. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Two Lands. I'm based here in Connecticut. Let's see. I got my start. I'm 45 years old, so I'm the older side in this space. I'm the grandpa. But I got my start in my early 20s as a financial advisor at Morgan Stanley. I was there for a few years, and I had the opportunity. I signed to a couple record labels, and I was on the road as a recording artist for the better part of years. While doing that, I always was training using what I learned at Morgan Stanley as a financial advisor. I then got into restaurants. The birth of my daughter, I got into restaurant ownership because couldn't be on the road anymore. So I did that for some time. I still operate several restaurants in the New York tri-state area. And then I got involved with my partner, Zach, I guess about 3 years ago in a restaurant venture. We've been working together in that for the better part of 3 years. And then we started Two Lands about 2 years ago. Two Lands, the actual name, derives from what Egypt was called before. It was actually called in Egypt. It was known as the Two Lands. So that's where the name comes from. As far as working with Kryptonite Marketing, Lady Jedi, it was about 10 months ago, right around the time we spoke, that we were connected, and we've been working together ever since. So she can tell you a little bit about her and what they do.
Yeah, so we've been with them for a long time, like he said. I originally retired from the Air Force, and I don't know if you retire young and your brain works a lot, I ended up really getting to a lot of investing and stuff like that, and really deep diving into stuff, which kind of led to getting recruited for certain things. And I joined a marketing team that pulled me in. And really, when it came down to it, I think probably just because of the type of person I am, I really saw there's a lack of integrity and good people with honest, values in this space. And I would see projects they'd take on and stuff like that. I just really didn't want to be associated with it. And someone I know in real life, the CEO founder of Kryptonite, she's like, hey, don't put up with it. Let's do it, and let's do it right. So Kryptonite was born, and we've stuck to it ever since. And I'd say we turn away 99% of people that write us because in this space, trust is kind of everything. You don't want to be associated with people that don't have good intentions. And I never saw myself doxing in the crypto space, but you can see me in the trailer for this documentary. I flew out there and met Jared, and we did the filming and stuff. So it's been a good journey.
I had nothing to do with that. That was your decision.
Awesome, guys. Thanks for the introduction there. Yeah, so the project is very unique. Now, it's obviously the project is around archaeology. Now, for those that are listening, Jared, can you give a bit of detail on what that is?
Sure. Just to backtrack, though, what she was just saying real quick is, you may have seen, and I posted it in your chat, is we just filmed a docu-series that we're going to be looking to put to Amazon Prime Direct in about a month, right around our public launch. We're actually in a private sale starting Wednesday on Gempad. But so she flew in, and it's very rare that you get to actually meet some of the people you work with in crypto because you're all over the world, right? So she was here part of the filming. We're in the office, so I'm in the office today. And, we went all about, and we met with a lot of different partners that we, have been working with, which is really nice to get to meet some of these people. And we had some Zoom calls as well. But so the trailer is out, and it's posted in your group. And the reason why I'm saying it is because it gives a nice little glimpse into who we are and some of the people we're working with. The intent, around this docu-series is to not only give a glimpse into who we are as a project, but also kind of highlight our partnerships, but also on a macro level, kind of discuss or at least show the rest of the world that think that crypto is a scam or all the bad actors, that there's actually some really good people in the space trying to do good stuff, not just Two Lands, but all our other various partnerships. And, it's almost a reality type show, behind the scenes look into a crypto startup and what it truly takes to make it. So we're pretty happy with it, and we're looking forward to actually seeing the pilot episode. The pilot episode will be shopped around. It was co-produced by Sean Austin of Netflix and Discovery Plus. It was filmed by Orange Street Films. So we're in a good spot to get it out there as soon as I can't wait to see the pilot. So that's kind of what we just concluded. In regards to the whole ancient archaeological aspect, and I remember speaking to you guys, you thought crazy. Maybe we are, but it seems to be working so far. But so when Zach and I first, started talking about this project nearly 2 years ago, we had to ask ourselves two questions. Number one is, what's it going to take to do this, and can we pull it off? Not from, the perspective of, can we pull it off like personally, but almost like, do we have the time and resources necessary to do this ethically? When we concluded that we did and we were going to go for it, we then decided, all right, well, what is it that we're going to try and do? Because if we're going to get into the blockchain space, we both agreed that blockchain is the future. Okay, so if we're going to get into the blockchain space, then what can we do to try and help people with it? How can we help people make money, but also try and help the world at the same time? So we quickly found an intersection with ancient history, particularly the stuff that we don't know, the mysteries of the universe, which then led us down. Okay, well, if we're going to try and go down that route, it just seemed like ancient Egypt was the most palpable because everyone knows the pyramids. It makes for endless NFTs. It's the fun lore about it. There's tons of things we can do that would be fun with, cryptics and hieroglyphs and all that stuff. And it just seemed to fit for us and our personalities. So that's how we kind of got started with it in regards to where it came from and how it developed. And from there, we've just been growing since. I've seen some of the questions that were asked, and I can just get ahead of some of them and say, like, from the perspective of how we intend to do this, we formed a nonprofit called the Everdeen Initiative. I know it says we partnered with one, but I'm actually the president. We started one. It's registered here in the state of Connecticut, and it's a 501c3, so it's a legitimate nonprofit. The way we saw that working within our ecosystem is like we're an ecosystem. If you want to think of it like an octopus with various different tentacles, the nonprofit is our charitable tentacle, if you will. And throughout all our different revenue streams and partnerships, we're always trying to find a way to bring revenue from any of those for-profit ventures to some to be donated through our nonprofit, so that the majority, if not all of it, pretty much 100% of it, can be donated to whatever the Everdeen will be funding. Now, when we first started the Everdeen, the concept, and the name comes from Katniss Everdeen, the Hunger Games, and the care packages being dropped, because we originally thought we'd only be able to, initially start helping grad students get various grants and maybe water bottles or GoPros in the field, what have you. But we got lucky in that, becoming part of that community on Twitter and reaching out and getting to know some people in that space. And I've been in that. This has been a passion of mine, not just ancient Egypt, but ancient history for many, many years. So I've kind of known some people in that space as well. But point is we became friendly by a man by the name of Kenny XP, who's an author, historian, researcher, filmmaker, tremendous presence on the Giza Plateau and also within Mayans too. So he's kind of like the guy, if you're watching like an Ancient Aliens or something on TV, or on Gaia, for instance, he's usually one of the speakers, like the people the pros, if you will, of that community, right? And he's not an archaeologist, but he's a researcher. So similar to like Graham Hancock, right? He doesn't claim to be an archaeologist, but just passionate about history. So we became friendly, and we decided that we were going to do something. Now, we got lucky in that NEXT. I don't know if anyone saw, about a few months ago, or back in March, there was a major discovery at the Giza Plateau in the Great Pyramid. They found basically a void, a hidden void, or I should say there was an entrance that was hidden. It became international news. They opened it up and they found it a company out of Germany called Scans Pyramid had detected it with LiDAR. And NEXT was part of that, or he was at least there helping organize it all. So what happened then is we got to talking, because really he owns a tour company as well in Egypt. And I initially had started the conversation about wanting to bring a couple of our holders as a thank you to an ancient, to Giza and some of the ancient sites in history, in Egypt, to just have fun and bring some people and hang out for a couple of weeks in Egypt and see all the sites with some of our community members. And we got to quickly talking about the nonprofit and what I wanted to do with it. And he said, well, boy, do I have, the best thing you could possibly have hoped for. And I said, okay, well, what's that? He's like, well, look, my friends at Scans Pyramid are also tied into a company, or even the University of Santa Barbara, out of California, and they've built this robot, a worm-like robot, and it's capable of penetrating sand-filled shafts. Now, there was some drilling done in 1986, and I won't bore you with a history lesson, but they weren't able to get down far enough because the technology didn't exist then. And then it's non-invasive, this robot, so it's to the point now where the Egyptian government will allow that to go in, provided there's funding. So he basically said, hey, look, I helped organize all of this. Through your nonprofit, we'll be able to apply for all the permits. I have the resources to help get it passed through, and it's going to go through the queue anyways. But I already know all the people that would be a part of this approval process. Really, all they need is help funding this to get the permits going. So that's been what we've been working on with him, for now the last couple months. And he's really an interesting guy. He's the real life Indiana Jones. So we're looking forward to using now our nonprofit and our various partnerships to not only raise awareness, but to use that to help fund and get this robot in the Giza Pyramid to see a shaft that hasn't been seen in 4,500 years.
Wow, that is incredible there, Jared. With that partnership of the person you met there, and you have direct connections to Santa Barbara, which is a university located in California. And they're going to be the one that's building that robot for you guys?
Yeah,
the university is?
Tested. It's just a matter of funding. They're looking at about conservatively 200,000 in permitting, because that's what's expensive. And the way the Egyptian, especially. Do I have an echo? Is it me? But anyways, really what it comes down to, like anything, is money. So if you can provide the government with the money necessary for permitting, and provided it checks all the boxes, and honestly, if it creates tourism, then they're all for it. And the fact that, coming off the heels of Scans Pyramid, which was an international story, when they found that void, it's probable, or it's obvious that they're going to want to see what was in it. So if we can provide them with the money to get the robot in, essentially, it's just a matter of time. So in there lies all the different creative ways through all our partnerships, where we've been trying to say, okay, cool. We got the nonprofit. We can start applying for grants. But what are some of the other ways through crypto, through our non-crypto real world partnerships that private would help fund it, raise revenue? So that's kind of what we've been up to. So with a lot of other things. But that's like the mission. So the Aberdeen, if you will, is one arm of our project, the charitable arm. And everything we do within our ecosystem, we try and find a way to help support that arm, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. I think that's incredible. I think if you guys are able to get that built and able to place the robot into that shaft that no one has been done or just recently found, I think that's going to bring a lot of awareness to your project as well. But I think it just helps with further the, just education in general for everyone, right? Now, to your knowledge, is anyone attempting that right now, Jared, as we speak, or has anyone done that yet?
No. So we would be the first. In fact, we were told that it would be an international story, like it was when they found just the entrance a couple months back in March. But no, it's just a funding issue at this point. So we can use our charity to raise funding. Rest assured, I'll be there that day, sitting at the Giza Plateau, just happy to be there. So what started, so the Aberdeen and how it started was like, trying to help fund this and that, has turned into right now focusing all our attention on this one initiative. And then once we can help fund for that, who knows what's next. So, but we got lucky with that one. fell in our lap a little bit. And it's
Yeah, that's incredible. And
yeah.
I hope you guys able to get the funding and able to implement that. That'd be amazing, actually.
Funny.
Just from the perspective of what is the unknown, right? The unknown that is down there, right? That'd be amazing. Now, now, have you had a conversation as far as the financial aspect of it, like the ballpark of how much it will cost to build a robot?
150 to 200,000. So, and that's not for the, that's just for the permitting. That's everything all in. So about that will be needed to get it done. Believe it or not, it's more about the permitting. It's less about the robot and all. It's which is funny. Egypt will probably spend that on a press conference with what's found or not found. But the point is, in the grand scheme of things, it's not not a large sum of money to get access into something that hasn't been seen in so long. So, in fact, that was one of the partnerships, the collaborations that we recently took on. Was we partnered with the hip hop legend Rakim, known as the Godfather of hip hop. He's also in the Sprite commercial right now, but he is a big ancient history fan, aliens fan, all that kind of stuff. So beyond just our NFT collaborations and how we're going to work together within the metaverse, from that side of things, and his interest in that, what really grabbed his attention is his passion for ancient history. He's a firm believer that, in one of the theories that pyramids were built using sound vibration. So the very first question I asked, could we put some type of sound device and record it on the robot to see what's going on in there? And I said, I'll do my best, man. I'll do my best. So,
yeah, Rakim, he's man, I've grown up in the 90s, and he's a very famous artist, actually. He was probably still regarded as one of the best MCs or artists ever to ever live. And I did not know that. That's actually very much into ancient history as well. That's new to me.
Yeah.
So that's incredible. Now, how did you guys find him? How did that partnership come about?
Well, I was in the music business for a long, long time. So one of my friends that used to be on the road with us is his manager, his lifetime manager of 20 years. So, I brought it to him, and I had dinner with Matt. His name's Matt Kemp, and I had dinner with him downtown Manhattan about a year ago. And I said, here's what we're looking, here's what we're building. And, I just was kind of talking to him, just like catching up. It's been so long. And, I had known he had managed Rakim, but I never thought perhaps that, a collaboration would be something he'd be into. And then he's like, you have no idea how big Rakim is into the pyramids and stuff. He's like, this is going to be right up his alley. I said, okay, we'll bring it to him. So he brought it to him, and it was just like, and I was like a bit shocked. He's like, you know what Rakim said? I'm like, no, what? He's like, he's in 107%. I said, wow, that's pretty awesome. And then he's like, look, we're going to do NFT partnerships. We want to do this. We want to do that. Rakim even wants to do something with a DAO where his bass players throw out 15 different bass lines, guitar players, a bunch of different, different lines as well. And then the community votes on various different song compilations. He's like, all right, let's get a robot in the pyramid first, then we'll talk about your DAO. But he was even talking about getting something on his Ticketmaster stubs, because there's space on the Ticketmaster stub that the artist actually owns. So he wants to generate awareness that way as well, to try and raise revenue for the for the cause.
That's amazing. All right. Well, it's obvious that you have a passion for ancient history and archaeology, and that's one of the main mission is to fund expedition and research, right? And just to further the pursuit of knowledge for everyone. And I think that's actually very important, right? To know the history of it. But besides that, you guys not just straight up trying to raise funds for the project, but you guys want to tie this into the crypto, to DeFi, and you want to give back to the community as well. And there are ways for people to benefit from investing in the tokens, correct?
Sure. And there's actually the charity aspect is just one part. Two Lands is a for-profit business. We understand people want and need to make money. That's why they get into this. A lot of other things within our ecosystem to drive buying pressure and reduce sell pressure. For instance, let's just say we have a whole gaming ecosystem. We're going to have games coming out. And we can talk about whatever you want, but we're going to have a couple games coming. We have a beer that's going to be coming in the state of New York in the next few weeks. We have a gin that's coming out throughout several states. I think like 10 states within the United States. That'll be early fall We're launching the first digital treasure hunt worth 1% of our entire token supply. That's going to be hidden. A custom Cryptex made and built the one for the Da Vinci Code movie. So that's we're going to have a lot of fun with. That's my baby. And there's various other things. We just recently partnered with TCG World Metaverse. So we're going to be entering the metaverse, and they're going to be building us out ancient Egypt in their ancient ruins section. So we're going to be, it's going to be a massive build, 3 months, but we get to basically tell them what we want that to look like and how it's going to be interactive within our ecosystem. So we kind of have a lot going on, which makes it fun. And what we're doing is we're trying to cross-pollinate, so everything scratches each other's back. So there's no way that if you don't go to one, you don't see the other, and that they're commingled in a way.
That's awesome, Jared. And I'd like to go in depth on the topics that you just spoke about, pretty much your ecosystem there, on your game, on your the beverages that you guys coming out,
Sure.
the gyms that you talk about. Yeah, because I think we have heard about about the ancient history and what's your plan on that, and the implementation is going to happen with the ancient history and the pyramid and the robot. That's one side of it. Now let's talk about the other side, where how and investors can buy into the token and they can benefit from it, or I guess everyone is here to make money, right? And as you speak on this certain topic here, if you can go ahead and tie it to what is the kickback? How, let's say, if you open up the gyms, you open up the line of beverages or liquor or wine, how does that tie back into the token and to the investors? So let's start with what do you want to speak on first? Because I know you have a lot of things going on.
Whichever you prefer, my friend.
You know what? Let's start with the games, because I think that's very interesting.
Okay, sure. Let me just do that. So we have 2 games in the works. So our first game is going to be an endless runner. It's called Pyramid Scheme. Think Temple Run, except you're running through the pyramids. It's already in beta. I can play it on my phone. Hopefully, at least the first working version for people to play is out around launch, which is going to be at the end of August. We're going back in, we're adding an extra level, but we're also adding some puzzles into it. So it's not just going to be a normal runner. You're going to have some puzzles in there too to make it more interesting and more fun. That's going to go to the App Store. It's going to go to Google Play. It's also going to be incorporated within TCG World Metaverse. And it's also going to be, desktop version if you want to play it that way. But I think runners are more fun on a phone, personally. Later in the fall, we already have a pre-production plan in place for our next game. Pre-production plan in place is with Robot Sea Monster, who did Axie. And the game that's going to be coming out there is a trivia concept called Pharaohs of Aru. Okay, and then the way that's going to just be a very viral, addictive game where you start as beyond answering, trivia questions, playing against yourself, time trials, and we wanted to make a game where you the NFTs that morph over time. So you would start by receiving a sarcophagus pool, and you open it up into a mummy, and then you move up a level, and then you're a pharaoh, and then you build pyramids, and actually you have to drink beer, almost like Popeye with spinach. So we'll feature the beer in there as you work your way up to God status. We wanted to, when we were designing that gameplay, and particularly the game design document, which was vital for us, was two things. Trivia felt it was a natural fit for us because of just our historical, it just falls, it's on brand for us, put it that way. And not a lot of people, or there's not a lot of trivia games in this space. And they're super addicting, and they're also very approachable. So most people know before they even download a game like that, kind of what they're getting themselves into. Same with a runner for that. That was one of the thoughts that we had with Pyramid Scheme as well. Is like, it's one hurdle that a lot of game companies often have, is that getting them to actually download the app is the hard part, and then keeping them there, right? So that's the first step, and then frictionless onboarding was the second. It's got to be 1 click, 2 clicks max to get in, and then fun gameplay, engaging gameplay, like beautifully stunning graphics to keep them interested, and dopamine hits, dopamine hit after dopamine hit after dopamine hit. Because if it's not addicting, if my 12-year-old doesn't find it fun and gets bored after 2 minutes, it's not going to be fun. So those were some of the things that we determined as pain points that we needed to reverse engineer into the gameplay. And then from the crypto side of it, and there will be a freemium version so that 12-year-olds could play if they want. But from the crypto side of it, we wanted to make sure that a one-way street was created. By that, I mean tokens come in, go out. A lot of problems with GameFi in particular is the fact that the better the game is and the more people play, the more rewards they have to pay out in their own token, which means they just create selling pressure. So for us, we really took heed of our lead advisor, Tony Drummond, the CEO and founder of MicroPets, and his success with his game. That, and we worked with Tony for the better part of 9 months, and we still consult with him, but we were meeting with him 2-3 times a week for 9 months, working on everything from tokenomics, this gameplay, to make sure that not only sustainable and frictionless, but it drives buy pressure while reducing sell pressure. One of the things that we wanted to also make sure is that rewards weren't going to be paid out in our token. So that one-way street, it comes in, but it doesn't go out. There's ways, there's raffles, there's all different types of ways for people to take profits. And also in-game EXP is going to be paid out constantly, whether you win or lose, which is then going to allow purchases in the shop. We also, and we'll be paying out in USDT and Ethereum and other ways too, but never creating sell pressure on our own token. That was paramount. And then one of the other things we did within that game is we're partnering with WeGift, which is a gift card, an international gift card company, to utilize the network effect, which is referral marketing, which is the most successful way to build any big brand. So the way it's going to work essentially is if you refer people to the game, you're going to get EXP. But if you refer people to the game and they actually purchase a consumable in the store to make their experience better, well, then they're going to get access to claim a redeemable gift card from 1,800 of the largest brands in the world, from Uber to Amazon to Grubhub to Walmart, you name it. And then they're reloadable. So imagine a KOL on YouTube when doing a game review. They say, "Hey guys, go try out this game. Like it? Here's my link." And then every time someone purchases something from their link, their Amazon keep reloading. Well, that's going to drive people to play the game. And then beyond that, and what I can tell you too, to get people to play our game as well, is we're going to be hiding clues to our massive digital treasure hunt as well. And we can talk about that if you like. But so there'll be a lot of eyeballs immediately going to the game to help get some clues.
Yeah, and we will touch on the treasure hunt there. I think that's going to be a selling point, huge. But no, I love the fact that you had spoke to an advisor and you guys had thought out the tokenomics for your P2E games correctly, because one of the biggest issues is the sustainability of the game, right? Very important. It seems like, from what you said, it seems like you guys are very mindful and figured out a way of other avenues to make sure that there's no pressure or there's no pressure on the selling of the native tokens, which is very crucial. And a lot of developers miss that aspect of it. Very important. So I'm glad that you guys have thought that out. Very important.
Yeah, because you can have in many cases you can have a really successful game and it works against you. So you have to block it. You have to make sure that there's that one-way street. There's the game and token economies have to be separate, or you're going to set yourself.
Awesome. Now regarding the games, looks like you have 3 games will be coming out, correct there, Jared?
2.
2 games. Okay. Now these will be around ancient history, correct?
Loosely, I wouldn't say around history, but the Endless Runner. So think Temple Run, but in the pyramids. So it'll have, and same with our trivia. And if you go to our website, you can see already some examples of beautiful there. And within our white paper, there's some more digital art examples of what some of those NFTs are going to look like. But yeah, I mean, it's as far as from a marketing perspective and or just the general vibe of our project, yeah, it's going to incorporate that Egyptian brand.
Awesome. Perfect. Now I know that you guys will have NFTs now. Do the NFTs have any kind of ties into with your games? You want to speak on that as well?
Well, yeah. So you're going to be able to purchase an NFT right on with Ethereum, and then the whole purpose is to not only play trivia but get that NFT more valuable. So in playing, the trivia and watching that NFT grow from, from the sarcophagus stage to the mummy to the pharaoh, and then working it all the way up to God status with extra exclusivity and things like that, all while building pyramids and buying various consumables in the store to get you there faster. Have fun playing against yourself, playing against others. It's going to make for the experience for the NFTs to become more valuable. And then the great thing about ancient Egypt is that there was many dynasties. So like the first rollout is going to be just the first dynasty, but there's 18 other dynasties. So there's endless content we continue to roll out as the game continues.
Awesome. So it seems like with your NFTs, you have different tiers where you get a certain NFT and you get to earn a bit more.
Even to be honest with you, we've even wanted to say, okay, because a lot of the things we do comes from, believe it or not, a lot of our marketing, from the docu-series into the treasure hunt into the beer and the gin and other things we're working on, is also in real world partnerships too. So we know we're going to have a lot of eyeballs on the project that aren't necessarily just Web3, and that's a good thing. So when we were designing specifically pharaohs, we were coming from the position of how could you almost bring them into the game where they don't even know they're in a Web3 game until they start winning, say, a free NFT, or how can we get and slowly let them dip their toes in the water, provided they're old enough, to link a wallet. So that was kind of some of the things we were kind of mindful about in putting it together. Everything we kind of think about is how can we get different target audiences to come, ease them into it, and then introduce them to what we really want to do. So that's why we like to tie in just about everything together to drive the buying pressure up on our token.
Yeah, I can definitely see that. The first conversation I had with you guys, and I really thought it's going to be around ancient history and the pyramid, but I'm looking through your whole ecosystem now. I'm like, wow, this is beyond that. This is it's a massive ecosystem, and you guys have strategically partnered with a lot of different, almost different industry in a ways, right? And to raise, I think it's going to be great to raise awareness to the project as well. But like you said, I think it's crucial that for projects to figure out a way, and pretty much to help propel this whole industry, is you got to figure out a way, how can you onboard people without having the knowledge of crypto immediately, and slowly pretty much educate them and slowly easing them into the crypto. I think that's necessary for the crypto space as a whole. We need that.
96, yeah, we couldn't agree more. 96% of people aren't in crypto. So think about that demographic. Even if you capture just a little bit, think about what that does. So that's kind of, we're always mindful of like the people. How do I get my neighbor who knows nothing about crypto to want to play this game? Or maybe he doesn't want to play a game. How do I get him to drink a beer, or buy some gin in the liquor store, or want to get involved in a treasure hunt, or you name it, and it goes on and on and on. Or watch the docu-series on Amazon Prime Direct. So everything we do is like, okay, let's do things that target different audiences, because something's going to stick.
Exactly. All right, so you guys will have P2E games, 2 games coming out, and you guys also will be rewarding with top brands out there, like you mentioned, like 1,800 known brands out there, including Amazon, Airbnb, Nike, Spotify, etc., to release the pressure of selling the native token as rewards, which is great. All right, now let's go straight into your brewery, your beer and gin. That's actually very interesting. We went from ancient history to beer and drink. Let's talk about that.
All right. Well, believe it or not, the ancient Egyptians were big into beer. So let's start there. In fact, so much so that we knew we had to do something with beer, because the ancient Egyptians that built some of the pyramids, there was different gangs. And I'm not going to do a history lesson, but one of those gangs was known as the drunkards of Menkaure. So it only was natural that we had to do some type of beer. And because of my prior business and still business, I have a lot of connections in the restaurant business. So all it took was a couple phone calls to get someone to want to partner with me and put a beer out. So we're starting with New York State for the beer. We just submitted labels to be approved, and then it has to go through the New York State, the approval process to be put on a can. And the brewing will start in the next couple of weeks, 2-3 weeks, up at Chatham Brewery, which is an upstate. They were featured in our docu-series. We did some filming up there. So we're looking forward to it. It's going to be an 8% IPA. It's going to be called From the Stars is the tentative title. So From the Stars IPA. A lot of people like to say to the moon in crypto, but as you know, we like to say from the stars because we believe in the star systems and how, the Orion star, everything lines up to the pyramids. So From the Stars is what we say over in our community. So it only seemed natural and fitting to name the beer that. And we're also going to be donating $1 per beer can, or at least from the sale of the beer will be going through the Everdeen initiative. So to help, so not only is the beer going to be placed in restaurants and liquor stores and, bars throughout the state of New York, but hopefully people are then going to see on the can that there's a call to action where they can then go get onto the websites, not just Two Lands, but also drive them over to the Everdeen initiative and maybe they can make a donation as well. So, again, same thing, cross-pollinating. Get them to see something, but also then bring them to where we want them to go next. Gin, kind of similar. That's going to be a little bit later. That's going to be coming out in the fall. We partnered with a company called Vale Distillery, also in upstate New York. However, the CEO and owner lives in, believe it or not, Connecticut, not far from me. I didn't know it at the time. They're tremendous, just a tremendous distillery. They do a lot of different things, but their only other partnership as it stands right now is with Jeffrey Dean Morgan from The Walking Dead. They have a blackberry gin out with him, which is delicious. And him and his wife actually have the blackberries on their farm, and then they infuse them into the gin. So that's actually going to be in several states. So we're actually in the process of figuring out label design and tie in the ancient archaeology and the ancient history into the packaging of the product. I believe that gin is be distilled in bourbon casks, so it's going to have a little bit touch of a smoky flavor, and it's also going to be. He actually suggested it was because he wanted it to just look a little bit more yellow, if you will, to tie into the theme of Egypt. So, which is pretty cool. So we also filmed a bunch of segments up there for the docu-series, and it made the trailer as well. So we're looking forward to getting that out, and that too will be throughout the United States. And also he's looking to ship to England and Singapore as well in the future. So those are the two, spirits and beers that we have in the works, I guess.
That is incredible. That is awesome. Now, like you mentioned, $1 is going back to the Everdeen Foundation, which is a nonprofit that you created under you, which is to fund the robot that's going to be created for the Pyramid of Giza there. Now, does that any other profits as we going through the P2E and any other ecosystem or I guess revenue avenues that you mentioned, we're going to speak on. If there's any tie back into the tokenomics, you can more than welcome to speak on it, whether that's buy and burn. For example, let's say if I buy a bottle of beer or gin at the restaurants, I know $1 goes back into that, but is there anything that would tie back to the token as far as buy and burn, the tokenomics, Jared?
Well, it's not going to tie directly to the token regard. It's just going to create buy pressure. Regarding as far as the beer and the gin were more of an opportunity for us to raise awareness back to what I was talking about with people that aren't necessarily in crypto. Regarding as far as, bringing revenue in, sure, it could serve as a revenue stream as well for the token, for the company, which then inflates the token because we're able to redistribute that money to various different things to create buying pressure on the token. But ultimately, it's free marketing in a lot of ways. For us, while we try and do something good by utilizing it for the nonprofit. A lot of our initial, utility is going to come from all our various different NFT collaborations from, Rock Kim, or as we go into the metaverse and we build out our ecosystem in Two Lands there, and other partnerships that we have in NFT stuff coming, like Luga Games, and then of course the gaming. Is going to be a tremendous utility as well for us. And then, we're going to tie in, there'll be revenue streams with the docu-series, and there'll be a lot of eyeballs clapped on the project because of the treasure hunt, which is then going to bring some people in seeing what we're doing, which is then going to pump the token because you have to be a holder to claim the treasure.
Correct. And I think that's actually that's a great marketing strategy. If I'm sitting at a restaurant and I see this very unique beer, uh, I think that's going to spark a lot of curiosity, right? But also it has a good mission to it. Like you said, it's going to be some sort of prints in the back, whether it's a QR code or whatever that's tied directly to your nonprofit there. Yeah, I think that's a great way to market the whole project itself. All right, now let's get into since we're on the topic of the treasure hunt, let's speak on that. I think that's actually very, very awesome that you have 1%. To
My
be
baby.
that is amazing.
When we spoke a year ago, I don't think any of that stuff we just talked about was even on the table at that point. A lot of this stuff that I just mentioned came
Nope.
back in 6 or 7 months. But the one thing that was there, and I'm not sure if I mentioned at the time, it was kind of a secret, but the treasure hunt. So from day one, what I wanted to do, because we're dubbed the Indiana Jones meets the Da Vinci Code of crypto, and we kind of fell into it, and I love it. But we needed to have a treasure hunt. I wanted to inspire curiosity in people. I wanted people to stop scrolling on their phones, or at least scroll to learn something, to inspire, to not get off their couch per se, because they will be able to. In fact, originally we were going to bury it, but then we didn't want people desecrating life. So we then decided to put together. Let me back up. So about 10 years ago in the United States, there was a treasure that was done by a man named Forrest Fenn, who was given terminal cancer, and he wanted to take his legacy with him and bury a bunch of jewels in gold. And he did so, and he put out a memoir, and then within that memoir was a 24-line riddle. And whoever could solve the riddle was going to find the gold. And it took about 10 years, but someone did find it. In doing so, in that course of 10 years, it became an international sensation. He was on CNN, Fox, the whole thing. Every summer, families across from America and all over the world would go out west because they knew it was in one of 4 states. And they would just get together and they would search and they would meet friends and, just gain these relationships and this community that evolved around it and just flourished. And it was just so inspiring. So when we first started this project, we said, you know what? I have to pay homage to that guy in a way. Like I want to do in our community what I saw, people rally around. So we wanted to inspire curiosity and just have people have fun. So we're not greedy. So we're just it's not who we are. So I said, okay, Zach, let's give away 1% in supply and let's hide it. And how do we do it? Well, let's do a riddle. So we wrote a 24-line riddle that's going to be released. And we've dropped Easter eggs and clues all throughout our marketing. And it's continuing to be clues. So all the things that you see coming out are going to have clues. So when you're going to go, when we drop this riddle, hopefully in the next month and a half, we hope it to be massive. We're going to take it we're going to do some really creative ways to get it into the hands and also get a lot of eyeballs on it. We just can't wait to get geared up and, just inspiring. I get so passionate about it because I'm so excited. I can't wait. I'm waiting 2 years to release this thing. So we're getting close. I hired a guy by the name of Justin Evans who built the one for the Da Vinci Code movie. So if you go and look at the Cryptex, it's basically a cylindrical tube, if you will, and he's hand making it. So in and of itself is going to be art. It's going to worth just that one thing. It's just the actual Cryptex is worth thousands to the person that's going to receive it. And inside it is going to be the wallet address and seed phrase necessary. It's one. And the way the riddle is going to work, it's going to lead to the words necessary for us to verify that the person solved it and is worthy of receiving it. And it'll be able to access it. It's going to be done by lawyers and going to be done the right way. It's for real. It's legitimate. It's my baby, and I can't wait for someone to find it, but not too quick. And AI couldn't crack it. We tried. So I just can't wait for it to get out there. So that's a little bit about what it is.
I was going to ask you whether AI can actually solve that, but you kind of answered that. I'm glad that you guys had tested it out. But what is the time frame? Do you have any prediction on that this riddle could be solved? Have you thought about that yet, or?
Well, tell you what we did do. So Justin Evans is big into he's big into the geocaching. In fact, we're going to be posting some pictures of it being made because he had just told us that he finished the rings on it. And the rings are the things that spin where you have letters that complete the word, right? In fact, we used the typography we decided to use is actually a complete replica of Da Vinci himself. They're able to rip it off old manuscripts, and those are the inscriptions. It's going to be literally his handwriting, which is pretty neat. But so regarding the timeline, it's about a month build, and we started we actually started the building process at about a month and a half, excuse me, about a week and a half ago. So he's looking at a ship date around mid-August, and then it's really hoping in the coming weeks after that we find how we want to, release it in regards to the timing of, before launch, after launch, and how we want to roll it out. We're still discussing that because it's just so much fun. But so it's coming soon. It's not going to be a long thing. It's going to be in the next month or two.
And as far as the prediction go, as far as someone is able to solve that, I guess, is there any measurement to that as far as years, months? Yeah.
I hope not. Well, I'll tell you what we did and what we're doing is this, and I lost my train of thought. Well, thanks for reeling me in. But he put us in touch with one of the top, like, if you want to call them, I don't even know his name, but puzzle, solvers, cryptic guys, whatever. This is what they do. They're just geniuses, and so we're in chats with him so he can, try and solve it. And if he can, maybe perhaps give us some advice on what harder or what fun. We think it's pretty fun as it is, and we know it's pretty hard. Double, triple, quadruple entendres. It's not easy, but you never know when you get one of these minds. Who's capable of what. Like I said, AI could not crack it, and the response was pretty good when we put it in, and we'll share that actually when the time comes. But I'm hoping. Well, here's what I can tell you. As time goes on, and just like Forrest Fenn did with his, is obviously we want someone to find it. So if it goes, months and months and months without someone finding it, we're going to continue to bring out more and more clues because we do want someone to find it. How fun will that be? And you have to be a holder, right? So in order to claim it, you're going to have to have been a holder of lands, right? So we're going to, be incorporating all these various different clues within the TCG World Metaverse, within our games. So you want the clue, you're going to have to go download Pharaoh's and Arrow and play some trivia until the clue pops up. And, all throughout our marketing materials thus far. So just about it, the beer can, and, all throughout, there's going to be little Easter eggs and different ones at that. So people can go through once they have the riddle and say, okay, I'm struggling here. Maybe I can go look for something and help me figure out where I'm struggling. So we just want to inspire people, inspire curiosity, and have some fun.
Yeah, that sounds a lot of fun. But like you said, I think I love the fact that you guys are going to make that assessment accordingly and kind of spit out clues here and there, and just be active in that on spitting out clues. I think that's important. Keep the community engaged and fun. But yeah, that sounds a lot of fun, and that's 1% of Land's token, correct?
Correct.
Wow.
Total supply. Yeah, 1% of total
supply.
Yeah, once deployed, we will set up that address, and obviously we'll make public what that token address is, and it's just going to sit there until someone finds it. So, and we can't wait for someone to find it. It'll be locked. It'll be secured. I'll do something so people see it, and the Cryptex is real. We're actually thinking of some creative ways to roll out the announcement. Yeah, we can't wait. And we're going to use legal to help, navigate any potential legal problems, because this could get massive, and how we're intending to roll it out with major global exposure. We don't want people desecrating people's property or any of that stuff. We want this to be friendly. We want it to be fun, and we want to inspire people just to get out there and use your brain a little bit, have a good time, and learn and meet people all for a similar, a similar pursuit, if you will, just like Forrest did with his community.
Yeah. So that will hold a seed phrase that will unlock the wallet that contains 1% of the total supply. Yeah, like you said there, Jared. I think if marketed properly, I think this could be big, and it's going to spark a lot of curiosity, as well as bringing awareness to the project.
Yeah, it's basically a max bag. That's what it is. It's a max bag.
Mm-hmm.
So it's nothing enough to destroy the but it's enough to change something, and that's what we wanted to do.
Yeah. Now, Yeah, let's say once you've done with this initial treasure hunt now, do you have other treasure hunts in place? Is that the plan?
Not in place, but it's been talked about. Provided it's successful, which I think it will, sure, we'd love to do more. We'd love to incorporate various different things. I mean, it's just the whole thing is about who we are as a project, so it only makes sense. So yes, we have had that discussion, but we're just gonna get this big one launched first and then kind of take it from there.
All right. Well, you heard it. Maybe enough of a couple gins and liquor with Jared. You may get him drunk and able to, you know, get some clues from him.
You know, it's funny too. We've even talked like the escape room route. We have connections there.
Yeah, yeah.
It all depends. Like the geocaching, some smaller ones. There's various different things, but the big one here is our baby. We want to make sure we execute it perfectly because I can't wait. I can't wait for people to see this Cryptex. My God, it is so beautiful.
Yeah, you know what? I've heard other projects do it before, but I love the fact that you guys, you know, with your mission, with the ancient history idea, I think that brings another level of complexity, and I don't know, it sounds a lot of fun. So
Yeah, you have to have fun. It's like you want to inspire, you know, that little thing you have when you're a child, or at least I had, that when you get older,
right.
the real world takes over and you got bills to pay and everything else they have to worry about. It's like I wanted people to be able to tap into that one little thing that we all wish we could go back and have. And
Right.
that's so important to me because it's really about that thrill of chasing it, right? It's about the journey. It's not about actually finding it. At least to me, it is. And that's why I've had so much fun over the 2 years, just like giggling like a little kid because I just can't wait to get it.
Yeah, you know, and that leads us to the Doxxed series. I know that you spoke on it a bit there, Jared, but let's talk about that. You know, when I think about you and how the way you think is, you know, everything is about marketing. Everything is about raising awareness to the project, and I love that. And I think it's the biggest ingredient. You know, you can have the best concept out there, but it seems like you want to pretty much, man, circle everything and bring it full circle to marketing to the project. And I love that. So let's speak on the Doxxed series that you guys are working on, or you guys just finished, correct?
Yeah, we finished filming a couple weeks back, 2, 3 weeks ago. So yeah, we filmed the first pilot episode of the docu-series. Right now, it's the trailer has just been made live. It's on our YouTube, but I dropped it in your chat, and it's on all our socials as well. It was filmed by a company down south called Orange Street Films. It was co-produced by Sean Austin, who's on Netflix and Discovery Plus. And the whole intent, and as I had mentioned earlier, for those that have kind of come on later, is it's a reality-based, unscripted glimpse into the behind the scenes of what it takes to create a crypto startup. It hasn't been before. And you know, the idea really came from the fact, just, you know, talking through COVID around neighbors around the fire pit in the cul-de-sac, and you know, knowing them really knowing what it is I was trying to do. So you know, and with the fact that we have, you know, so few people, you know, and out, you know, what, 4%, like I mentioned earlier, there's a need, I think, for people now, to the average person that isn't in this space, to get an understanding that there's just good people in this space trying to do good things. And it's not all the bad actors and the FBFs of the world. There's actually, those are the few. And there's always going to be bad actors in any business. So for us, it was like not only an ability, sure, it's marketing, right? It's going to go to Amazon Prime Direct and be shopped to, you know, various other networks. Sure, that's going to happen. But it was an opportunity for us to showcase some of our other partnerships and clap eyeballs on their good work that they're doing, while also from the macro of just trying to create the narrative like, hey, you can actually root for some guys in this space. They're really trying to do something different, or not even if they're trying to do something different, they're really trying to make a difference. Maybe that's a better way to say it. So that was kind of the thought process behind it. And the first episode, the pilot episode, should be finished by the end of August. I would say even sooner.
I think the idea is great, but I think the marketing aspect, it will come naturally, and I think it's crucial. And I think that's going to provide a lot of, I guess, transparency into you guys, you know, in the project as well, and that ultimately will bring a lot of trust into the project, right?
Yeah.
So, man,
We have the opportunity to actually, we've been in discussion. It's a bit pricey, so I'm not sure it's going to be within budget, but we have the opportunity to get into movie screens all throughout the country. So if I wanted to get into just about any movie theater you want in the United States as a, you know, as opening scene for Guardians of the Galaxy, we could do it. and you can target specific different regions and or cities however you want. It's just whether it's in budget or not. And late at Jet, I can also marketing it up, but we're going to do some really unique things because it is mainstream. We tend to like to go mainstream with this project because ancient archaeology affects the entire world. So we try to, like I said, get into the minds and hearts of people that aren't just crypto. So for us, we're going to do marketing around it that is more mainstream, obviously, because you're going to be scrolling through Amazon and hopefully it pops up and you see it and you can go watch it. And that'll clap some eyeballs, not only on just 2 lands, but in turn create the value proposition for the entire project, because you're bringing in those people that perhaps would not have been here otherwise.
Yeah, I will say too, originally Sean Austin, since he's with Netflix and Discovery Plus, he brought up, with Jared talking to him about this idea, Netflix will pick this up in a heartbeat, could do this. But when we started looking at marketing side and kind of everything else, you have to wait on Netflix film crew to be available. You have to wait for their timing for when they release new stuff. And we're like, you know what? Let's do it. Let's put it out at a time where it benefits the holders, for the people, that are there, because the people that buy in early, they're going to be holding by the time this is spread out everywhere. So yeah, he's done good with looking, like you said, at marketing different things at the right time. It's all to protect the chart, protect the holders, keep things constantly going out.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know much about you, Jared, but you have that strong, analytical skills there. I like the way you think, brother. I can zoom out and I can see the whole big picture and how it can propel your project. So great job on that.
I found myself, one of the other reasons why I felt the docuseries is so important is, and even when we go back to our conversation nearly a year ago, I found myself in AMAs constantly trying to explain and trying to break it down, and it's got so many moving parts. It became obvious that perhaps it's too complex, or at least it's too difficult to explain because there's too many things going on. So it quickly came to me that this needs to be visual. So, it's also the ultimate docs. Like, what's better docs than having a documentary follow you around, right? So in your office. So for us, it served that purpose too. But for really, it's an opportunity. And now, since it's been out for a week, the trailer, however long, finally people are coming to me and saying, I get it now. Now I see what you're doing. I finally understand it. And it's so in and of itself, the docuseries, or at least the trailer, if nothing else, is a tool, for people to now kind of wrap their head around truly trying to do, because it was very difficult, and it still is difficult to explain.
Yeah, and I think that was one of the topics that I think a year ago when we had a conversation. Myself, I love the mission, I love the idea of it, but I think I vividly remember telling you that I said, "Is how can you convey that to the to the audience, right?" And I think from what I've seen, I think you are heading there. I think right now it's a lot easier to understand. I think the vision is more clear, and I think if everyone look into the white paper or just look at the trailer, the YouTube videos there, I think they get it. So yeah, I think you have put in the work for sure. For the last year, you guys have put in the work.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, it's definitely taken wings since we last spoke. It's a completely different project. We started from scratch. After we spoke, we literally market. We started working with Tony Drummond from Micropets as our lead advisor. And we said, okay, let's pivot. Let's take this time now and just not start from scratch from the perspective of throw everything out, but let's look through every little thing we want to do and let's figure out how to make it, so that's the most sustainable. And I really thank Tony in that regard too, as our lead advisor, because he had been there before. He's taken his project from 0 to 200 million in 3 weeks. So he learned a lot along the way, not only what worked, but also what didn't work. And from that experience, he was able to help us, start to navigate, through those uncharted waters back in, last December, January, all that kind of stuff, and really, kind of help us progress, stay on track, and make sure we're doing all the right things to set us up for success.
Awesome. Now earlier, now did I hear that you also have gyms in plan? Is that did I hear it correctly? Like
Gem
fitness
pad,
gyms?
yeah.
Oh, gem pad. I thought
Gem
you were
pad,
talking
yeah.
about.
We are having our private sale round 2 this Wednesday, 1500 UTC. Can't
Yeah, you
wait.
know what? You know what, Jared? Before we go to the gem pad, the last topic I want to speak on is your metaverse. So I think that's the last thing on your list on the list there is the metaverse. Then after that, we can go in depth on the private sale currently on gem pad.
Sure. So, okay, regarding the metaverses, well, we partnered with TCG World Metaverse. They caught wind through someone in our community, and they offered us an opportunity to come and be part of it. They have an ancient ruins section in their metaverse, and they thought Two Lands would be a perfect fit. It happened within a day. Paperwork was signed, and we were off to the races. They're great people. In fact, Justin, their VP, is based here in Connecticut as well, so that's rare. So, when we filmed the docu-series, he was actually able to come here and be a part of it in person. Late Jedi here, so it's just from the perspective of getting to meet people you actually work with. That's kind of nice. So it was fun. And they're just building a ridiculously expansive, like, it's beautiful, and it's going to be some of the stuff behind the scenes. The virtual headquarters, our secret society that's going to be housed in there. It's endless of what we're going to be doing. We're fortunate; we're kind of allowed to do whatever we want. We've been given the opportunity to essentially put together a vision board. They work with the core team at Unity, so it's almost like if you can think it, we can build it. So we're just kind of doing our due diligence and really trying to think about how we want to, integrate Two Lands in their world, and watch them bring it to life over the coming months. It's about a 3-month build from when we submit our architectural plans, if you will, that vision board. So, we're looking at a fall release as well. And there's other things we're doing with them as well. And Rock Kim also wants to be a part of that metaverse build out. There's going to be a recording studio, and there's various other things that we want to do within the our space to implement him. We also are big on education, right? That's why we're here. So there's going to be things that we're looking to do, perhaps guided tours, maybe NXT. Will be a narrator. People can walk around, our plot, and learn about history. We've also been in contact with Christine Jansen, who's a PhD, and she owns Astucio, which is a VR university. She's a tremendous woman. She's won all types of awards. She's a powerhouse. So she has a VR university, college university. So there's things that we'd like to integrate with her, perhaps classroom. So we have a lot of things that we want to do, that we're just starting to dream about, because it's going to take a few months for them to bring it to life. And then there's other things that I can't talk about that are just going to be massive, that I know that they're building out, which is just incredible. It's going to be a really interesting fall, put it that way. I can't wait.
Awesome. Now this company that you guys, or this project that you guys are partnered with for your metaverse, now are they launched yet, or like can you speak more about it on them a bit?
One more time on them on TCG World.
Yeah, on TCG.
Well, they're already live, so you can check them out. They have a great infrastructure, really smart people. It's an incredible project, and I mean, you could go to their YouTube and just take a look at what they're building. It's they've sold millions of dollars worth of digital land already. They're really impressive people.
Wow, really? Wow,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh wow, awesome. I would check them out actually.
We're gonna be implementing our IP all throughout their space. So, and our headquarters, our virtual headquarters, are going to be located there.
Perfect. All right, Jared. I think we cover pretty much everything on your ecosystem. Correct? Is there anything else you want to speak on before we talk about the token metrics and the pre-sale that's currently going on right now? I mean, the private sale.
No, not at the moment. I think I'm sure there'll be some questions, perhaps.
Oh yeah, I think there'll be a lot of questions. All right, so let's talk about the tokenomic first before we go into the private sale. So let's talk about the token metrics. Looks like you have. Are there taxes within your token?
Yeah. To start, 5% buy and sell.
Yep. Okay, 5% in, 5% out.
with the
Okay.
intent to slowly fade that out over time. That'll give us a nice runway to add liquidity and stuff like that. So, so initially we'll start with that, but we built it in the contract as such that we could reduce it and toggle it off.
Okay. Okay. Good. Now, could you give us a breakdown on that 5%? Like what percent is going to marketing? What percent is going to LP or whatever marketing or development? Could you give us a breakdown on that?
The 5% is just going to be. It's just going to be used, and we haven't allocated how we want to use it yet. We just decided we were going to put the buy and sell tax in literally this last week because we are in private sale. So the contract's still under audit. But, you know, everything, we're very transparent people, so we'll be communicative about how we use it, just like with the rest of it. Mainly marketing.
Understand.
Mainly marketing. Everything we do is marketing. So
Understandable. Okay, so currently right now you have a private sale right now over in Gempat, and you guys are raising, let's see how much here, $150,000 USD, and that starts in a day and 16 hours from here.
Correct. What I would like to add too to that, another thought, is you have to understand that buy and sell tax we would have to liquidate to use. So we don't, you don't want to create sell pressure, right? So, so you got to be very careful. And which is our intent. But yes, we're looking to raise 150,000, on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. That is not bad at all. And we will post a link and pin that direct private sale on Gempat there for you guys after this as well. All right. Now, looking at your tokenomics you have going on here, you also had a seed sale. What is that? Can you give us some detail on that? The 8% of seed sale, what is that?
Sure. That was a seed sale for friends and family about a year ago that we did just for word of mouth, friends and family, my aunt and uncles, grandparents, that kind of thing. We had to, in order to be SEC compliant, we contracted a law firm called Murtha and Kalina here out of Connecticut. And in order to be SEC compliant, we had to conduct it as if it was if we were going to be regulated one day by the SEC. So what that meant was that we had to make sure that we took in a certain amount of accredited investors versus investors, and that within that, essentially, we couldn't tell it to the world. We couldn't advertise it. We couldn't even email about it. So we reached out to some friends and family before we even had a website, and in that, we took in that initial seed of $80K. And then we vested it in order to be compliant with the SEC in a seed round like that. There was some vesting terms that they need. So what we did to be a little bit, because we're always thinking about the charts, what we did was instead of everyone being able to liquidate at 12 months, we staggered it. So how we did it was after 12 months, those seed round investors, our friends and family, they'll be able to take out 25% of their initial investment to try and get back and take out some profits, or at least hedge against what their investment was. And then at that time, they'll be given the opportunity to lock a year, and in doing so, we'll give them 10% on their sum. But if they don't, and they take their 25%, they'll have the rest available to them at the 18-month. So some will be taking out at the year, some will be taking out at the 18, and some will be taking out at the 2-year mark. Many of them are friends they've already chatted about, even getting into these rounds. They're long-term holders. In fact, many of them are older and have never even been in crypto before. They invested in us, not in Two Lands, so which is nice. So I might actually have to explain to them how to sell the tokens when it comes time. So because they've never even been before, I had to help them set up wallets.
All right. So looks like a minimum of 12 months vesting there. Also, the private sale. Are there any? Is there any vesting on the private sale or no?
Nope. Absolutely.
Okay.
Not.
What is the difference between the private sale and the DEX? The public on DEX. What was the benefit for me as an investor?
Well, you're going to be getting in. So if you were to get in Wednesday, you're going to be getting in a $4 million valuation. When it goes public, you're going to be getting it at $5 million. So price. You're getting more tokens for your money.
Okay, guys. So yes, the private sale right now, if you decide to invest in right now, you get more tokens for your money. and there's no vesting on that as well.
Right.
All right, so I think everything else is pretty much straightforward. You guys can see the token metrics on the website there. There's a breakdown there, but I think we just cover the most important thing is the vesting, the C-cell, and the private cell. But everything else is very straightforward there on the website.
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, basically, you have like a 25% value if you get into this before we launch, as opposed to the public. So if you do like the project and you believe in us, because ultimately that's what it comes down to. I don't care how great a project is. You're betting on the team, right? You're investing in the team. So if you believe in us and our vision and what we're, one of the things we pride ourselves in is look what we've been able to accomplish. We're not even live yet. So imagine. If you believe in us, I think it'd be wise if you're thinking about get in a private sale, because that's where you stand to make the most.
All right. Now, actually, one thing that I see on the token metrics there, Jerry, is the burn. Is that 1.2% or 12%? Can you speak on that?
Yeah. So what we're going to be doing, the burn is actually fun, and it's automated. So when we're not a big fan of burning anyways. But we wanted to do a little something. We wanted to sacrifice to the gods, if you will. So the ancient Egyptians were big into moon phases. So what we've done is once a month for 12 consecutive months. So let's just say, for argument's sake, as if we launch at the end of August, like we're scheduled to, starting in September, I think it's September 29th or the 30th, I have to look. But anyways, there's going to be a full moon that hits above the Giza Plateau. Every month after that, there's a full moon that hits on top of the Giza Plateau. And when it does, precisely to we're going to burn off a little bit. So nothing crazy, but just almost like, let's have some fun. Let's honor what the ancient Egyptians believed in. So yeah, a little bit of burn every month.
I like that. I like that sacrifice. I like that thinking.
Nothing
awesome.
That's gonna, it's not gonna, increase your value astronomically. It was more of just like a sacrificial offering to have some fun with,
Awesome. All right. I think we pretty much cover everything. Did we miss anything?
I don't know. I think I got it. Sarah,
yeah, I think we. Yeah. Lady Jedi, did we miss anything?
I think we've got it all, but who knows? We could get off, and I could be like, "Oh man, we forgot to mention this." But yeah, there's a lot, and I've even had some people from your community. Someone said, they've been looking for the last couple days, and it kind of takes that. So I think what Jared said is really important. Just watch the trailer. But yeah, I have a handful of whitelist spots left. If anybody is interested, they can DM me. Because those are about gone, but yeah, I think we covered all of it.
Yeah, so with the whitelist, I'm not sure you guys want to offer, but what we can do is we can do a post, right? And for those that are listening right now, we have 178 people listening right now, and for those that are interested, we can also they can reply to the post if they're interested in the whitelist. But the private sale, it is going on in a day and 16 hours from now. We will have that pin. So if you guys are interested in the project, I think the private sale is the way to go. Not financial advice.
I think we allocated you guys 5 whitelist spots already, just so you guys know. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, if you guys look, guys, I put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to get it done. So if you're interested in this project, I highly recommend getting into the private sale because you can grow with us, and that's what this is about. We've been working on this 2 years. So if you believe in what the mission's about, which is helping fund ancient archaeology and all the really interesting ways that we're looking to do so, I'd love to have you on board. And I'm going to work my darndest 100 hours a week to make it happen. That I can promise you, because if anyone knows me, they know how much I'm working on this project, and Zach as well. And Kryptonite Marketing, we don't stop, like nonstop, 20 hours a day. So it's just, you can probably see me in the shot.
And I can see that, I can say that. I can say that because we spoke like around almost a year ago, and the progress that you have made and all these avenues that you guys you want to get a print in different industry. I mean, you've been putting in the work 100%. You've been working hard.
Yeah.
Huge progress since we spoke. But yeah, guys, I mean, the private sale, we will pin it very soon here. But there's no vesting on that, so just FYI on that, and you get 25% additional tokens, and then at launch. So I think that's incredible. 20.
I think it's 20. I think
20.
it's around 20, 25. I think it's 20. But anyways,
Yeah.
it's to your advantage.
And you don't have to pay the 5% buy tax if you were to buy at launch too.
Point.
So you can look at it that way.
Great point.
Exactly. So that's 25. All right. Well, I like the fact that you all guys are doxed, and I love a docu-series on that. That tells me that you're not going anywhere. If there's any kind of hint of you trying to fool investors, you would not be here on the cam and do a documentary on yourself and the behind the scenes of the progress. So I think that speaks volume.
One of the things that I've been saying too regarding the docu-series that we're very, very proud of is perhaps what we think considers the ultimate dox is if you watched it, you see Nathan, who's the CEO and owner of Crypto Magazine, has a presence, and we're going to be featured in I believe the next periodical coming out, his next subscription later this summer, and his vetting process is pretty rigorous. And the fact that not only was he allowing us to be featured and giving us that opportunity, but he actually came and was a part of the docu-series, which just, we're so grateful for. He's a natural on camera. That's what I said to him. He's in the beginning and he's at the end. He's quite the charismatic of him.
That's awesome. It'd be really awesome, Jared and Lady, if somehow you can convince Rakim to come on one of these AMA and do a verse or something. That'd be crazy.
Wow.
That'd be amazing. That'd be wild, actually. So, all right. Well, with that being said, that'd be insane. But with that being said, my man Mike has been keep tracking all the questions in the room. And also, guys, on the last pin posted, if you click on that and do right click, you can see all the questions from the community there as well. But Mike has been keep tracking all the questions, and he's going to come on and ask a few questions away.
All right. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Lady and Jared. That was an amazing presentation, guys. Good to have you back. So we're going to start right off. Oh, let me just mention to the community here, too. If anybody wants to ask their questions on voice, please feel free at any time to unmute yourself and do so. But we have quite a few text ones here. Let me get into a few here. First community question is, in the NFT cycle, is there a maximum number of God NFTs that can be generated through the combination of other NFTs and tools? If no, do you think that there will be a time that will come where many people will pass through this cycle and have too many God NFTs, which will make these hence less expensive?
Well, they're going to continue to be. Yeah, the answer is no. That's the answer is no. I mean, quite simply, we're going to make it so they're extremely exclusive. It's going to require a bunch of gameplay in order for you to get these things to be where you want them. It's just going to be incredible. So in order to earn them and get them to be so exclusive, which they are, it's going to require you to put in a little bit of effort to have fun. So you're not just going to be able to buy your way into the most exclusive ways. You're not going to have to spend a ridiculous amount of money to get them there either. So it's going to require acquiring them and then playing the game, which is why we built the game, for you to get them to be the value that you'll want there. So
good. A lot of those play to win games, they really kind of fizzle out quick, Mm-hmm. Next question is coming in from Gigi Jessica is, during the gameplay there, is there anywhere in the gameplay itself where if someone incurs a glitch, is there a suggestion area where they can write you, or is this going to be done directly through TG?
Well, the games are still in development, particularly Pharaoh's Arrow is in pre-production with Robot Sea Monster. But of course, there's going to be a way where, again, the whole thing is about seamless gameplay. So for us, making it as easy and accessible as possible. So yeah, we're going to be making sure that it's seamless and that it's just fun, addicting. And like I said, my 12-year-old wants to play it all the time. So I would say it's a yes.
Awesome. Where did that question just go? Hold on one second. I just lost it here. What is going on? Sorry about that, Jared. 1 second.
Yeah, there's going to be a bounty program.
Oh, bounty program. That's good to know. All right. So this question is coming from Joshua. This is about the partnerships here. What is the nature of the partnership between Two Lands and the Chatham Brewery and the Vale Distillery? How will this collaboration result in the creation of the Two Lands co-branded products?
Well, it's kind of a mutual collaboration in that we're going to be branding into the spirits and beer, but it's really more along the lines of creating revenue streams, but also raising awareness for our nonprofit, the Everdean Initiative. So it's a little bit of a co-branding initiative to get our name out there in non-traditional ways. At the same time, clapping eyeballs on a project that maybe perhaps people that are sitting in a restaurant didn't think they were going to see a crypto project in front of them when they're drinking their 8% IPA or martini. But at the same time, then, is giving them a call to action that they potentially help fund a robot going inside the Pyramid of Giza. So it's it all works in tandem with each other, marketing, but at the same time trying to, corral people to, help fund, the initiative we're trying to do, which is get this robot on the pyramid.
Very good. Next question is coming in from, I hope I say this right, Shinigami. I think that's how you say it. His question is, will you be able to rent our NFTs out? And to add to this question, is there able to transfer these NFTs from wallet to wallet as well?
It's a good question. We're still kind of figuring out how we want to do this. I mean, you're going to be able to do things on OpenSea. I would say yes to transfer, but we're going to be very careful. We want these things to be exclusive as possible. But yeah, we're going to make it so people can transfer.
Okay, so that actually rolls into his next question. You're creating a DApp with the marketplace. Can we trade our NFTs with other players as opposed to just on the open market?
I don't think so. It's because of regulatory stuff, and I don't think we're probably not going to do that, to be honest with you. You might be able to sell them, but I don't think we're going to have it so you can trade them. At least not yet.
Okay, 10-4. Next one is coming in from Stargale. This is talking about Raheem here. Partnering with him. What is his actual involvement and contributions into the project itself?
Who was that?
Raheem there?
No. What was whose contribution?
1 second. Let me pull back that question here. All right. His question is, with the significance of partnering with Raheem, the legendary recording artist, is the godfather of hip hop. How does his involvement contribute to the promotion and awareness of the Two Lands project?
Well, as I was told by his manager, Matthew Kemp, a friend of mine, he's 100% on board. And not just because he likes crypto and he wants NFTs and all that stuff. Honestly, it's because of his background in Egypt and how he believes that the pyramids were built using sound vibration to move the stone. So he's all in. We're going to be, doing a lot of different things with him other than just NFT collaborations. So, you're going to see a lot of him, which is fantastic. Because when we initially thought, we're like, oh, Rakin's just going to want to do an NFT collab, and that's great and all, but no, he wants definitely a more expansive role in this fundraising campaign of ours, if you will, because he wants to see us getting that robot in as much as we do into the pyramid. I'd say that's driving him more than all the other stuff.
That's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to that one, actually.
Apparently, he's a big Ancient Aliens fan. He sits around all watching Ancient Aliens. You gotta love him. You gotta love it. He could be right.
Coming on to his second question here about NXT here. How's his involvement in the campaign here? What is his contribution, and how will he impact the campaign?
Who, rock him?
The NXT.
Oh, NXT. Apologies.
NXT, sorry.
Well, NXT is our conduit to the the Ministry of Antiquities, right? So he's the one that's going to be able to organize and apply for the permits on the Everdean Initiative's behalf, right? He's also an author. He's also a filmmaker and a researcher. So he has the knowledge and the connections. He's the one who's put us in touch with the people to get the robot, funded. So he's everything in the fact that he's been the one to to help us put these people in place so that we all work together. Yeah. So he's excited too, because he knew it was going to be difficult to fund something like this. And we both agreed that, blockchain is the means by which to do it because it's global. And when you have so many eyeballs on something, it's just that much faster. And then we start attaching celebrity partnerships on it. $200,000, doesn't seem like, so much when Rakim's got millions of followers, right? And, there's all types of things we're going to be doing with him and his, recording studios, virtual recording studios, perhaps Ticketmaster stubs with him, all creating value to the Everyday Initiative, which essentially creates value to the project itself.
Very intriguing, Jared. His next question here is, can you provide more information about the commercial plot within the TCG World Metaverse that Two Lands is constructing? His question is, what is the purpose of the virtual headquarters and how will it facilitate the organization's operations and engagement within your community?
Sure. Well, our virtual headquarters is going to be everything, all things Two Lands. We're going to try and make it as interactive as possible. We're going to be putting in, our architectural plans, if you want to think of them that way, to build it out how we want. We want it to be as immersive as possible. It's going to be just beautiful. Not sure if you've seen the TCG World going on already over there, but what they're building is just ridiculous. And we're looking to, bring in education. We're looking to have, to build some type of perhaps ancient Coliseum where we host concerts in there. Maybe Rakim will come give a concert. We're looking to do a recording studio in there. I mean, there's going to be interactive exhibits. It's just endless what we're able to do. There's actually something we're doing with TCG World already that we can't talk about yet, but when we can, my God, it's just going to be, mind blowing. Even, for me, I'm so happy. So there's just so much we can do there. It's endless.
Yeah, Metaverse is very endless. Coming on to Roderick's question here is, do you plan on adding an avatar feature into your Metaverse where you're able to interact with other players?
Likely. Yeah, it's all about avatars. So, it only seems to make sense. Sure.
All right.
It's basically, TCG already has the avatar building feature. If you can go, you could already see their avatars that they have. So for us, it's just like, they're like, okay, give us a wish list of what you like. What do you envision it to look like? What are some of the things you'd like to do? And their core team Unity is going to help bring it to life. So for us, it's just like, okay. And it's almost not intimidating. It's like, wow, what should we build? We don't want to get this wrong, right? So, but there's just so many different things you can do. It's just, so we're going to lean on them like, hey guys, what should we do for this? Because, they're going to release like this what's it called, the WebGL build, and then people are actually going to be able to use their own avatars. I think, using their cell phone as facial recognition. It's wild stuff. So we're just really looking forward to this fall when that all comes to,
That's very interesting. Oh,
yeah. It's like a web-based immersive experience.
You said that's WebGL. Is that anything kind of like I'd assume what I'm going to understand of OpenGL, where it's kind of more mainstream and kind of you can take the inputs from.
I'm pretty sure it's like a 1 kilometer virtual city. It's pretty expansive. If you don't know them, you should definitely check it out to see what they're doing. It's pretty wild. We were fortunate to be able to get hooked up with them. And we hit it off. It clicked really quickly. And we just couldn't be happier. We hosted an AMA over there and we had pretty good reception. I think it makes sense. They have the ancient ruins section. So I think it was just a good fit for Two Lands to be in their ancient ruins or near their ancient ruins section. So, we're just looking forward to all the various different things we can do within the metaverse, things that we didn't even think we were going to be able to do. It just 100%. Opens more doors. It opens a whole nother clientele, if you wish, right? A whole nother demographic of people within this space. And it just claps more eyeballs on the project and allows a more immersive experience for people in that realm. So maybe you don't want to be in that realm. Maybe you want to be, in something else that we offer. But again, it's just one more thing in our ecosystem that allows us to diversify and give a little something for everyone.
100%. WebGL. I'll have to look into that one. Next question is coming in from X Research here. There's other questions already answered, but the last question there is, and I know you said that your audit is underway right now. But his question is, how will Two Lands ensure the security, fairness, and integrity of the Web3 infused global treasure hunt? Are there measures in place to prevent cheating or exploitation? Additionally, can you provide more details on how the custom-made Cryptex and the 24-line cryptic riddle were designed to challenge participants and ensure rewarding upon solving?
Sure. All right. Well, yes, the 24-line riddle. All right. We haven't decided how we're going to roll it out. We're going to roll it out soon. The riddle is completed. And yes, we're going to make sure everything's protected through legal. Probably going to use some type of security firm to help make sure everything is safe and locked up. And because, safety's paramount with something like this. Regarding the, and that's why we actually chose not to bury it, because we didn't want someone to find it and then not say, and then it just disappear and everyone think it's a fraud. So no, it's going to be under lock and key, out of our hands completely. We'll make the transfer of wealth, if you will, through legal and through security. We want it to be as legitimate and under lock and key as possible, honestly. In regards to the Cryptex that's being built, it's being custom built by Justin Nevins, who built the one for the Da Vinci Code movie. And it's currently under build. It's handcrafted. It takes about a month and a half. He's already completed the rings of it, which he's going to be sending us some pictures this week. So I'll be adding into the community of what it's going to look like. It's made of white marble, and it's going to be so beautiful. I think if you scroll back in our chat, you can see another example. In fact, I can drop one now, just an example of what one of them looks like in this group. They're really cool. I'll do that now while I have it on my brain.
Absolutely.
But yeah, as far as rolling it out, we can't really tell too much. It's a 24-line cryptic riddle. It's not easy to solve. AI couldn't, crack the code. And we just can't wait to get it out there. And we're going to make sure it's protected. It's for real. It's worth 1%. And we can't wait for someone to find it. And we've hidden clues throughout all our marketing. And we will continue to hide Easter eggs throughout all our gaming and every aspect of our ecosystem, so that naturally, if you want to solve the riddle and you're struggling, well, maybe you'll find a clue in our game. Maybe you'll find a clue in our beer or in our gin or in the metaverse. And you can keep looking. And what's going to happen is it's going to drive value proposition of our project, because the more eyes that go here and there, more people download a game. It all just, cross-pollinates and drives the value of the project up. And that was the intent. Other than stimulating curiosity and having people just get out there, get off their phones, stop scrolling TikTok and search for something. Be it virtual.
100%, Jared. I'm really going to be looking forward to that, playing that, because I grew up loving all that stuff too. Now,
me too.
Talking about that 1%, Jared, is that going to be one sole winner, or is this going to be broken down?
One sole winner.
One sole winner. Very exciting.
Max bag.
Oh, max bag is 1%. Okay.
One sole winner.
So,
and we want someone to find it. We don't want someone to find it the first week, but we want someone to find it.
Oh, man. Next question is coming in from Hector here. Is between you guys, you and Jared there, and lady here, what experience do you guys have in the field of archaeology itself, if any?
I'm just a born stargazer. I'm not an archaeologist. I don't claim to be, but it's a passion of mine, and I do want, and I'm going to do fund archaeological expeditions. I did take a class at Harvard last summer. With Peter Manuelian, who's the head of Egyptology. But that was just more for me to have, to learn and to grow and to immerse myself in that culture. But no, I'm not an archaeologist. I did study some anthropology years ago at the University of Massachusetts. But, so that's why it was important and imperative for us to not only start this foundation, the nonprofit that we did, and then align ourselves to the necessary people to really, truly bring our vision to life.
100%. I'm over in Massachusetts too. I'll have to come visit you one day.
I'm in Connecticut, but I went to University of Massachusetts. I remember you telling me you were from Massachusetts. That's funny.
Yeah, we're not too far from each other.
I love it.
The next question is coming from Hector is about the permits that you're going to need to carry out all this stuff. Are you going to be transparent with all this stuff and kind of give it to the community as you acquire these permits?
Of course, it's the Everdeen initiative, which is our nonprofit, that's going to be the one officially filing for the permits, because it is a 501c3. But absolutely, Everdeen is going to have all its own socials and its website and all that kind of stuff as well. So all that's coming soon. It's a registered, not LLC, it's a registered incorporation here in the state of Connecticut. We're just waiting on the final thing that we're able to then go live with donations in the coming weeks. So hopefully in 2 weeks, everything's going to be up and running website, and we'll be able to start accepting donations.
Very good.
Yeah, and as far as transparency, 100%. The whole point is to get it out there. So we'll be certainly, and our conduit is NEXT. He's the one who's a large part of that process. So he'll be the one navigating through those permitting stages.
Very interesting. Next question is coming in from Dr. Mikey about your very rare all access NFT pass.
Mm-hmm.
That comes with contribution, depends on the level of your tier you choose, is not for every contribution. Why is that? And is there a requirement? If yes, can you tell us the tier contribution requirements?
It's not applicable. It's for our last sale.
Last sale.
Yeah.
Alice Costa has a question about the website updates. He sees in phase 2, why not in the last phase when it's all... let me start over here. Why is there a website update? In phase 2, why not in the last phase when all the roadmaps have been done? Does this mean all roadmaps might change?
Well, we've had the original website, right? And then we actually did a facelift about a month ago. And next week, actually, we're starting the next, a whole new website. Not from scratch, but it's going to be a clean house, if you will. So we just, our project continues to evolve. Well, so does the website. So it's just, we're just going to keep growing, and the website's going to keep getting better. It's just that simple. But yeah, we already have the lined up. It's not going to change the roadmap, though.
Very good. The next question is coming in from, where did this go? Freaking TG keeps bouncing on me. This one's coming in from a Vidyar. Where the hell did it just go? All right, this is one of the questions I always like to ask every team. And I know you've been developing this for 2 years, and our last talk was a year ago. But from 2 years ago from start, what has been your most difficult task or objective that you've had to overcome to date?
Good question. My wife. No. No, but the honest question, working 20 hours a day. No, that's not it actually, because I'm so passionate about this. Honestly, it's been, it's when you deal with, the honest answer is dealing with real world partnerships, because they work 9 to 5s, right? They don't work 24 hours a day. So I guess in any business, working under other people's timelines and their time constraints, and they don't move as fast as we do, right? So obviously, people, all of us in this business are used to 24 hours a day, fast paced, fast moving stuff. But real world companies, especially in the summertime, aren't exactly in 20-hour a day work mode. So the hardest part is waiting on everyone else, as far as I'm concerned.
Understood. Let's see. Okay. This one's coming in from Michael Bonds. That's going to be one of the last ones I take here. We're rolling up here. Is the acquired pharaoh not been trained if the acquired pharaoh has not been trained or built, is there a tendency of losing that NFT? No. Not at all.
No. In fact, you'll be given, even if you play the freemium version, you'll be given a free one, not as gorgeous as the one you're going to get if you paid for it. You'll be given a free one just to get a taste, in hopes that you'll then want to go and try and play the game, the Web3 version. So, but the answer is no.
No, very good. Michael Bond's second question here is about your charity. What is this charity going to be used for, and how can the community donate?
Sure. Well, it's called the Everdeen Initiative. We named it that because think of, Katniss Everdeen with the Hunger Games, care packages being dropped from the sky. Originally, when we started it, the concept was that we were going to use it as a platform for, various different archaeological communities to post a little bit about them, almost like, think of it like a fundraising, like when people try to raise funding. But for us, it quickly segued when we got tied in with NEXT in this archaeological community that instead of featuring a lot of different things and having various different projects, featured, let's focus on one first, and then it turned into be this massive one that fell into our lap. I'll be honest with you, and so that's the first initiative, if you will, of the nonprofit to help fund this robot into the Giza pyramid, into this hidden shaft that hasn't been seen in 4,500. Once that inevitably happens and they find something or they don't, well, then we'll figure out where we take it next. And I also like to talk about Two Lands in that, we're just not, and how I like to say it, and I know it was part of my interview in the docu-series, is we don't see Two Lands just solely being tied to ancient Egypt. It's a starting place, but there's so many places all over the world that still need to be explained and uncovered. There's so much left to find, right? So for us, Egypt is a starting point. So we'll be venturing into other, regions of the world as time goes on.
It's very exciting to hear, because, take the ocean, for instance, so much of that is still unmapped and unknown. So I can see a lot of things going there as well.
Yep.
All right.
That creates the ability to have other tokens too.
There you go. Yep. All right. So the last question I'm going to ask here before I kick it back to Seattle, and thank you for answering all these, by the way, Jared. Is, I know we touched on this a little bit earlier about your educational pieces. When can we expect some educational pieces? As onboarding those people onto the blockchain is very important for the mass adoption, and also just teaching them about everything that you're trying to do here as well.
As far as how are we implementing education into it?
And when can we expect that those educational pieces to be public and get the community?
Well, as far as regarding education in TCG World Metaverse and how we're looking to expand there, that's going to require into the fall. But as far as how we're constantly trying to inspire, we're constantly trying to educate people, even in our community, about talking about different things and different finds that come across, on the daily. It's not just, like I said, the pursuit of knowledge just isn't in Egypt, it's in everywhere. And we're a community. So it's about educating each other as well. Everything we do to a certain extent is going to have some form of education involved. We've already been in talks with, I mentioned it early, which is the first VR university, which is run by Chris Jansen, PhD, who's a friend of mine. And it's an incredible, it's basically go to college, but in VR. And so we're going to be incorporating something with her as well. And, we were chatting with her a few weeks back. So there's a lot of things we're going to do to try really raise awareness. We'd even like to, one of the things we were talking to her about was somehow sponsoring college tuition for someone at her school. So it's paramount for us. It's very important to us. We're going to, we're going to continue to develop those relationships because it's really the why we started.
Yeah, I kind of think that questions about the onboarding, people into Web3 from the other side, and I know we've actually had a lot of discussions. We are coming up with finding not just tutorial wise, but a visual piece for onboarding people that have never been into crypto, don't have a wallet, where they can kind of have like a type of classroom place to just go and learn each step. And you're not just having people tell them, well, go to Google, go do this, because then you run into problems with them clicking wrong links. They have no idea, what's hunting them out there in this space. So we want to keep everyone safe.
100% well said there, Lady Jedi. I appreciate it. That's all the questions I'm going to take, guys, from the community here, and I appreciate it. If there's anything that you guys would still like to ask, head on over to the Two Lands Telegram. Be sure to ask your questions, and a great team right here, Jared, Lady, and everybody else on the team. Be sure to answer those. With that being said, I'm going to kick it back to Seattle, and thank you, guys.
Thank you, Mike.
All right. Appreciate it, Mike. Well, thanks, Jared. Thanks, Lady Jedi. I think, Jared, you articulated yourself very well. I think the presentation went good. And I know that Mike didn't have a chance to really answer all the questions there, but we will pin the Telegram and make sure you guys join their Telegram and ask your questions over there. Now, with that being said, Jared, we'd like to offer every project comes in. Would you like us to send people to your Telegram? Maybe like they win $10 for mentioning great AMA at USA Crypto Group. Is that something that you want us to do?
Yeah, I'm sure we can figure something out. And it's also, don't forget about the whitelist spots you have for your community as well. I think you have 5. So
yeah, the giveaway is on us. The giveaway for joining Telegram is on us. We provide it for everyone just to further raise awareness to your Telegram. Now, I have to warn you, some developers do not like it because there's gonna be a lot of people coming through and saying great AMA at USA Crypto Group.
Sure.
So let me know. Let me know if that's something you want us to do. If not, it's all good.
Cool.
I'd say bring them.
Yeah. I'm not marketing. Let's talk to marketing. There you go. Easy.
Yeah, we have a lot of people. We will have a lot of people joining your room. A lot of developers, it's kind of like a spam, so they don't like that, which I understand as well. But a lot of developers want us to do that, so that's all up to you.
Yeah, I would just say don't come in there. I won't even tell you what's going to happen if you say check DM. So, but go in there with the normal purpose to win the money.
Your computer explodes. Yeah.
All right. So we will pin. Come on in, guys. So we will pin the Telegram, and we will also pin the direct link to Gempad for the private sale very soon. Here, Johnny, if you can go ahead and do that really quick, that'd be greatly appreciated. All right, guys. Well, with that being said, thank you, Lady Jedi, for being here. Thanks so much, Jared. Is there a last word you want to give us?
Yeah, this was fantastic. We really can't thank you enough. I know it's been a long time coming. And I appreciate everyone that's listened here for now, nearly 2 hours, man. I'm sorry you have to listen to hear me talk that long, but we really appreciate it. I'd love for you to come check us out. If you haven't checked out the docuseries trailer, I think it's a nice way to kind of get a little glimpse into who we are and what we're looking to build. And if you like it, I think you should try and hop in that, that private sale. It's at a good price this coming Wednesday on Gempad. So come on over. We'll be hanging out in the VC, I'm sure, soon, and we'll catch up.
Yeah, you got a great community. I appreciate the quality of questions. It really shows the
100.
strength and the type of people you have.
Yeah, and everything is transparent. So if you guys go back to, there's a post, I think 2 posts back, or maybe right after the YouTube there. All you got to do is just right click, and you will see all the questions on there. And the reason why we do that is so that way it gives you guys a chance to also, answer yourself as well, if you have a chance. So everything is on that post there.
Love it.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Lady and Jared. With that being said, guys, this is not financial advice. Informational purposes only. So with that being said, Mike, the Santa Claus, is going to come back on, and he's going to do a little giveaway. He has some giveaway to do. So you guys can stay here, Jared or Lady, or you guys can leave. It's all up to you guys.
All right. Well, I can't thank you enough.
Awesome, brother. And I look forward to have a follow-up with you guys.
Thank you so much. I really
Anytime.
appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm in my office, and I'm never here this late typically, and at least on a Monday. And cleaning lady's trying to come in. I see it now. It's pretty funny. Never met before. All right. This is awesome. Cool. Well, guys. Yeah, I appreciate it. We'll hop over into our main chat in just a minute. I'm going to run to the bathroom, and if anyone wants to hop on a VC, I'll see you over there.
Very good. All right, guys. I'm going to share my screen here. We have a $20 giveaway for the wheel. I took everybody's name down like always. Get it up here. We're going to shuffle this up and award $20 off our wheel. All the participants. And like always, going to follow up with the best question. And we still have going the $25 Twitter with a follow-up of a $15 YouTube once it's posted. Now, Jared, as soon as I get this all posted up to YouTube, I'm going to give you guys a copy as well. Francis Nani, congratulations. Win yourself $20. That is it for the wheel, guys. It's been an amazing AMA. Looking forward to the future of everything going on here. Very exciting. See you guys in the next one. Be on the lookout for that YouTube up post. Let's go.
Oh my God, Jared, you're not tired yet. After 2 hours, you still want to hop on the mic over there again, huh?
I'm just running around here in my office, getting thrown out by the cleaning crew. I love it. Hold on one sec. Yeah, I'm still working. We just moved into a new office. We're still learning the rules. We've taken over. I think they hate us already. We're here all the time.
Very good, very good. All right, well, that's been a great AMA, guys, and we will see you guys in the next one. That being said, peace.
Peace. All right, guys. Thank you so much.
Peace, guys.
I see ya.